Lance, you were already a more mature player by the time you got to Oklahoma, and you talk about Coach Schmidt being there. And DMAC, you had already been through the gauntlet with Coach Schmidt. So my question is, when you got to Norman and the impact that he did have on your life and you as a man, how did the workouts at this point are kind of legendary. You've seen him both then as well as now, right? I don't think that's a secret, and the things that have changed. But when you got to Norman, where did you feel that you kind of fit in on the pecking order of the workouts and the leadership, and how did you try to make yourself ingratiated with the program and with the team early on? And then DMAC, if you have any insight, I know you weren't there necessarily for all this, but just anything you could bring from your perspective there. But Lance, you first.
So from the workout physical standpoint, I was probably very low on the totem pole. Like so far down this totem pole, it was like embarrassing to say the least. I never seen dudes so big run so fast in my life. You have to understand, I was in a group with Teddy Lehman and Russell Dennison that both run like DBs, literally. So you don't understand. I was coming off of a knee surgery. Um, I've never worked out like this a day in my life. Um, but all I knew was effort. You know what I mean? So that part, I was able to earn the respect of guys because regardless of my abilities, my effort kept me in the race, have you will. But I wasn't very vocal. Never was very vocal coming in. I just wanted to work hard and earn my way up. But once we got into winter workouts and they called out the depth chart, that's when I knew things had changed for me because BB kept his word. He didn't even make me start with the twos or the threes. He was like, Mitch, you're up. I'm looking around like, what? Like, just like
Wow.
that? Right? Absolutely. Hopped in, and at that point, there were some dudes that were a little upset and bitter about it, as they should have been, right? Like, who's this new guy coming in?
Who should have been upset? Name them.
I'm not gonna say any names. I can't do them like that. I love them too much. I won't do that. I won't do that.
Film
Right?
don't lie, bro. Film don't lie, bro.
Right. Just pull up the depth chart, and you can probably see there was an older guy
Teddy
there.
moved from Mike to Will when Mitch
Right.
came. Oh, let's
But
just call a spade a spade.
but Teddy was like, man, he was so important for my development
Yeah.
that winter because he had already played the position. He was constantly talking to me about what to see, what to check, what to call. You know what I mean? He was essentially still making the calls as a real linebacker. You know what I mean? Until I was able to pick up on the system. But he was so important for my development moving along. That's kind of allowed me to come out fast. You know what I mean? Um, and what was your other question from Smitty's standpoint?
Yeah, just from a Schmitty standpoint, people love the stories and the legend of that. So that what was your journey with him, or were there any moments where they were sort of transitional moments, if you will, of like, okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm here to stay. My times are good. My lifts are good. Like, was there a point for you with that?
Well, so I always made my times, right? Like I was gonna make the times regardless. Like there was no choice. I'm gonna make the time. But where I'm at in the line is where I was competing with myself, right? But Smitty, he was on me from day one.
Hmm.
Absolute day one. I never had a day off except for Saturday and Sunday. I never got a break off, or when guys got to go home for the summer break, I never got to take that off. He'd be like, "Big dog, see you in the morning," and that was every break. You know what I mean? Every day. There wasn't a day where we weren't doing something, and he saw a lot in me where he had to catch me up to speed. You know what I mean? I knew he knew, right? He's like, "Oh yeah, I got to get him ready." So he took a lot. I mean, that dude took so much time to. He went so far out of his way from every aspect, making sure I was comfortable off the field, making sure I had everything I needed. You know what I mean? Within the rules and the guidelines, but he made sure that I wasn't homesick. I was straight. I was good to go, and I focused on getting ready for the upcoming season because it was a big deal. I had no idea how big it was. You know what I mean? I had absolutely no idea until spring game. But his part for me, like seriously, he never ever yelled at me in a way of disappointment. It was all a motivational standpoint because I was older and was able to handle hard coaching. But people call it hard. I call it grown man business. You know what I mean? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't come out of high school with these kid mindsets. So for him, I already had the mindset. You know what I mean? So I loved it. I literally loved it. Never had a bad day with him except for one weekend out messing around with D-Mac, partying a little too
Whoa.
much. Hold on, we're going to talk about it now.
Go.
So if you tell your version, I'm telling my version after because I know the real story. Go ahead.
And that
Okay, go.
that Monday, I didn't make one time that workout. I was coming off of a full weekend, and I don't even party, right? So, yeah, I appreciated that. Never again, though.
First of all, I wanted to stay home. Y'all, well, I can't say you because you probably wanted to stay on too. You probably did want to, but I was like, I don't want to go out. Come on, Mac. If you remember, they was like, if y'all come, we get in for free. I wanted to stay home. Mac, El Mitch, you knew my situation. I had a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. You know what I'm saying? I was chilling.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Hey, but we went to that thing. That was a whole other night. I ain't telling that story today either.
Good times, those moments are what you're there for, right? Go ahead and enjoy your college experience.
I didn't want to party for just this is like my 5th year on campus. I'm done playing. I'm making sure my boys are good, whatever. And it wasn't even Lance either. Lance wasn't trying to big party. It was the people we was with. They was from Cali and they was trying to experience some stuff and they experienced some stuff that night for sure. Somebody went to jail that night. That night somebody went to jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody too much.
Somebody's going to jail. Right.
Man, somebody went to jail that night. By the way, nobody found out. I will tell this part. This is what I will tell. I think I said this on the pod. And Lance, I know you remember this. So the night happens, shenanigans goes down. It goes down. Frat house, I think at the Fiji house. We at the Fiji house.
Yes,
sir. Shenanigans. Yep. Lance's name comes up. Okay. Yep. Like in the shenanigans. A coach. I don't know how he found out. He was there in 10 minutes. And we sit on the curb and I see him first. Like, damn. D-Mac, what the hell is going on? I'm like, come on, coach, coach. And the police are like, nah, he's good. And the coach comes and says, where's Lance Mitchell? Lance, get up. You ain't in this. And Lance walked away.
No, this is what he tells me. He pulls up, and I'm trying to explain what happened, right? He didn't even let me get a word out. He's like, Lance, shut the F up, get up, and go home, right? But shut the F up, get up, and go home. I get up, I go home. But my brother went to jail. Yeah.
And he like, D-Mac, what the hell? I said, coach, I wanted to stay home. Like, I'm just trying to make sure everybody good. So he was like, Lance is good. He was like, okay. And he left. I was like, okay. Yeah, it was a crazy, we had some crazy times, bro. We did.
Yeah.
Wow. Man. So you had a little bit of time in professional football. Kind of give the people just a little, I guess, encompassing story of your journey that essentially gets you to Norman, and then of course what's going on for you now. But we obviously want to talk about your recent time in Oklahoma, maybe touch on a few things that we can, discuss, that are still that are within reason. But talk about your journey out of Oklahoma and then professional football, and then what got you back into the coaching world and why you're staying in that right now.
Okay, so when I leave in 05 after that SC game, I was so sick. It was hard to even come back to Norman after that loss, just based off of disappointment and how we handled ourselves in that game. Because at the end of the day, if we would have lost, it should have been closer. You know what I mean? We did everything in our power to hand them that win. You know what I mean? but that's for another day. So I go play a year with the Cardinals, and then I played a year in arena ball. I ended up hanging that up in '08, and I got into the fire service. So I started my training to become a firefighter in San Francisco. So I went through that for 3 years, but in the same time, I was coaching at the City College of San Francisco, and we ended up
Mm.
winning two national championships. And I had a every group of backers I had, they all ended up going D1. And all this stuff is stuff that I learned from the man that coached me. Um, I took what I learned from him. I took the mindset that I got from Schmidt, and I put all that in one. And that product that I was able to put out was an awesome product. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything that I had. It was something that I learned and something that I borrowed from these other guys that coached me. So BV and I would always text, and Schmidt and I would always text once a year, here and there. Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Um, Schmidt and I would always say, hey, something opens up, let me know. So 2014, I remember this like it was yesterday. I get a letter. So at this time, I had already did everything for the fire department, had my EMT certs. I'm certified. I'm ready to go. I meet with the fire chief of San Francisco. She ends up pulling my name for the list. So I got my offer letter from San Francisco Fire Department. I'm excited. I'm like, oh man, I finally hit it. I'm about to go finish the rest of my journey as a firefighter. Literally the next day, I get a text message from Schmidt. Dog, what's up? Give me a call. No, he give me a holler. That's how he talks, right? Give me a holler. Called him up. What are you doing? I told him what I'm doing. He said, hey, listen, I got a position. Are you interested? Here's path left to the fire department, path right, OU football industry and condition department. I was at the
Mm.
Notre Dame game by that weekend. You know what I mean? That's literally how fast it went.
Is that Blake Bell and those guys when they play him in Norman?
No, we went up there. We were in,
Okay.
yeah,
So
that
that's
was the game.
Striker and those guys when we beat them.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm literally at Notre Dame. Would always want to go see this stadium. So it was a surreal moment, you know. But at the time, I had left Oakland to come here to explore the opportunity, right? But at the time, I had two younger kids, and I ended up leaving because it was extremely devastating, especially for my daughter at the time. She was young. Talked to Schmitty. It was a very tough decision. He's like, dog, you can never get that time back, man. You know what I mean? And so I was just
Mhm.
super disappointed that I took the opportunity and wasn't able to see it all the way through. But it was, it was based off of me going and being with my kids. It was something that I couldn't live with at that time. So fast forward to